Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Iron Man Super Meat Boy. It's Dark Rapture time, so I don't feel like small talk right now. This has taken me hours already. Okay, we're gonna kick things off with Coil, and this is the Corridor of Death. It's arguably easier with Super Meat Boy, but... God damn, I hate it when that happens. Anyway, there's an oob on the lower left-hand corner, so I'd rather just skip that with Kid and basically do this level first, because, well, it's just a nightmare to pull off. And sometimes those saw blades are not aligned correctly either, so that always helps when you're trying not to die. Kid won't do as much good in Millenium. Gonna have to use Super Meat Boy. But this level is a story of its own. It all depends on just about everything, and right, usually that door closes before the missile gets through, but apparently not this time, so I guess we're doing Coil again. God damn it. This is arguably the hardest level in the chapter, because if there's even a slight change in your speed, the back and forth moving saw blades will be in different positions, therefore making avoiding the missiles a complete nightmare. You really have to be at the top of your game, but it looks like I got lucky with the second time around. And the moment I enter the next level, I gotta be quite precise with my jumps. Phew. Okay, that's the toughest section of the level done there. If you stay on the left side here, you can avoid these saw blades when they move up, which is a real lifesaver. You don't have to be jumping around right there where all the missiles are going. And instead of jumping around on the platforms, we can actually use them for cover, which is pretty cool. Time to play what's behind the timer. And it's a goddamn saw blade launcher. How did that even get there? Was it deliberately put there behind the foreground object? Because that would be pretty malevolent. Ooh, well, that went rather nicely. And looks like I learned from my mistakes from the Blight chapter. This final portion might fool you into thinking you have to hurry it up, but really as long as you take your time with the jumps and don't press any directional buttons, you will always fall straight down and grab the wall whenever it reappears. So basically, take it easy and you'll be fine. Oh, these corridors, these small jumps, these small tight jumps, they're just the worst. Oh, and appreciate the lag, game, that really helps in situations like that. It's not like I had any precision jumps to pull off there. That final stretch is not as blatantly easy as I make it look, because you have a very short period of time when you press the button to go through the little disappearing tile, and then you have to worry about the saw blade being in the right position and the missiles not screwing you over when you dive through. Got lucky there though, that's nice. Anyway, the first 7 levels that I do are actually interchangeable, and yeah, let's do Coil again, might as well. The first 7 levels I do are all tough as nails and really easy to screw up, so I changed my level order several times on the fly, usually doing whatever level killed me last immediately after. Because this chapter is just batshit insane, even if you use several characters. It really is the cruelest chapter if you don't take Dark Cardinale into account. A choke this level ain't. Not much strategy to it, I'm afraid, just run like hell and hope for the best. It looks like the nuisance of a Magog is still there, making the rounds. Hope he gets swallowed up by the black flood of death that's been following us. But yes, the first 7 levels I do in pretty much any order. Downer was the first on my list for the longest time. This green tinge gives me nightmares. It's killed me more times than I care to remember. The very beginning is the toughest section by far. After that moment onwards, you can just pretty much stay on the left, and you'll be quite safe. Looks like it's a recurring theme in Dark Rapture that you can hide on the left side of saw blades. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I'll take it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm rather relieved I don't have to gaze upon that green tinge anymore. For Swine, I'm gonna bring in a Headcrab for another round. We'll see why in a minute. In the meantime, I'll try to avoid these zombies and missiles, and yes, that is just the best thing. Good to see missiles can work in your favor too. The zombies are pretty obedient too for once, that's pretty cool. Except for that one guy over there. Oh well, it's not a big deal. What really makes this level tricky is that the zombies don't always act the way you want them to, as I've mentioned, and sometimes Headcrab doesn't hang onto the ceiling either, which can be a real pain. Anyway, let's hope those two guys at the end are... Yeah, they're aligned pretty nicely. This should go off without a hitch. And this is the reason you use Headcrab. Zombies jump when you do, you can probably see the issues in a tight space like this, but with Headcrab you can just hang onto the ceiling. You can even lure them down there, not strictly necessary, but I still like to do it just to keep the corridor all for myself. Okay, that's really the toughest part done, but we're not out of the woods yet. Oh no. So, if you want to grab something to drink, some snacks maybe, now would be the time. This is going to take a while. So I'm going to take the opportunity to say that my heart was really racing something fierce right here and towards the final levels. Whether it's easy deaths from overdoing a jump or timing it wrong, it's unbelievably easy to get killed by a level you know inside out and should not be a problem in any shape or form. Some people can remain calm, I always lose my shit, and if that happens, the best thing you can do is take a short break. This might sound mental to some of you, I mean, why lose your cool over a game, and a silly achievement at that? But if you're resolute about getting it, and spending stupendous amounts of time to achieve that end, it can occur, and at that point, the one thing you should never ever do is to openly discuss it in a public YouTube video. Wow, that took us almost a minute. Not quite the part time, but I think I'll live. Alright, next up is Nyx, for which I'm gonna use the kid. His speed seems to be optimal for the beginning part with the disappearing floor. It flows really nicely. And this right here is what I call the triple heart attack corridor, because of those teeny tiny little jumps that you have to make. It's nothing quite as heinous as the one we saw in Quietus, but it's still really discomforting to know that a little mistake will send you to your death. I just don't like those things. Well, that went rather nicely actually, but I don't want to get cocky just yet. We still have a few tough levels to clear. Probably won't come as a surprise who I'm gonna use for this level. Rapture is all about using the kid. Grab the keys, easy of course, and then we have another triple heart attack corridor. So let's wait for a good moment and... God, that is some fucking aneurysm shit right there. All in all, this level has nothing else to offer but that little corridor. Oh boy. Nothing quite like dying to the third one and then going all the way back to the first level. And for Blight we're gonna skip Kid. I used to use him, but in the end Runman turned out to be a lot better choice. Skipping the first section, of course. And there is a zombie on the right, so let's see if I can make him move. Come on, you. Oh well, doesn't look like he's gonna move, so I guess he won't be a bother. We'll just let him pout. That jump through the saw blades is the reason I use Runman. He's really easy to control in the air and straight through those things. Obviously I go from the above. Going from below is suicide. The gravity well is kind of unpredictable, it likes to push you to the saw blade, so I find my way a lot better. Halo of Flies. Oh boy, I've had my fair share of trouble with this level in the past. Let's see if I can do any better this time around. Okay, the start is really simple, so you should... Oh, son of a bitch! Yep, you didn't see any of that, right? Aside from that wonder screw-up, this level is not that tough. There are only 3 saw blades that are dangerous, the one's right there. I'm just too nervous to go in that cramped space, so I decide to go around, but then there is the slide glitch to be considered. If you don't know what it is, basically, whenever you hang onto a wall and jump, there's a chance you'll slide up instead, and if it happens in that small tight space, well, headfirst into your saw blade you go, and with that little space there's nowhere near enough reaction time for you to do anything. I don't know what triggers this glitch though, it might be the angle you go, you grab the wall, something, I don't know. Make sure to tell me if you know. If you remember the light version of this level, you already know how this level is gonna play. Only difference is these 3 rather easy saw blade jumps right here. Nothing compared to the ones we saw before, so it's no big deal. Right. Let's do 5-4 next. Another good level to use Kid, first off. Skipping the gravity well right to the top. And whatever you do here, don't jump on the right wall. It might look tempting, but go around the saw blade instead, because that gravity well actually comes through the wall, and with that saw blade right underneath it, you can probably guess that it spells trouble. I guess you could go around that thing with Meat Boy as well, but why would you ever do that, unless you're one of those people who do these runs with Super Meat Boy only and do them in level under 1 to 20, which is nuts. We are pretty much on the safe side of the chapter right about now, but it's still not impossible to die, especially if you're a nervous wreck like I am. Anywho, let's check out if there's any more zombies there. It looks like we're in the clear, so let's get a move on. And no, I will not kill these zombies, although I would love to do that. It's just way too risky at this point. It's pretty nice that they kill themselves in the replay, though. It's gotta count for something, I guess. And Canker is a really simple level. Nothing to it. But there is that cyan background that kind of blends in with the gray. I don't know if it's apparent or not, but it can be somewhat problematic, I guess, to see when those blocks disappear or when they reappear. I suppose that could give you some trouble, but all in all, aside from that, this level has nothing to offer in terms of difficulty. Yeah, let's do Necrosis. I used to do this with Naija, I'm gonna show that one off in the extras. But Kid turned out to be a slightly safer option. When you're at the bottom, you make the oob come left, as per usual. There's another one right here. Gets the same treatment. And with those two out of the way, we can have a nice, quiet climb all by ourselves to the top. Of course, there is that one more oob, but he's very simple to go around. Close shave? What do you mean close shave? I was 100% in charge of that situation. And that leaves us with 2 levels to clear until we get Zombie Boy. They're both levels made for Naija. We'll start with the very first one. Alright, let's get the ball rolling. Usually I dive over that first saw blade with Naija. I don't jump over it. I guess that could be chalked up to nervousness as well. And whatever you do, don't dive in this corridor. There's an invisible block that will kill you if you are not very careful about what you do. At the very end of the level where, well, I guess there's really no contest in who to use here. It is possible to jump through those 2 saw blades using the Kid if you jump from the left side, but as you can probably see, it's a rather difficult tiny jump, so it's not really what I'd consider to be safe. Loomer might seem like a pretty poor choice for a last level, especially because of those 2 saw blades and the gravity well that you have to use to go through them. But with Naija, that really is not an issue at all. See? Could it be simpler? Well, I suppose a little victory dance won't do us any harm, because that's all 20 levels done. As for what happened with Naija back there, you basically stand at the very edge of that thing, and then you jump, and when your feet almost hit the ground, you press the dive button, and you will fly through that thing beautifully. Not a thing to it. And that would give us the Zombie Boy achievement, but I'm still... well, I still feel kinda bad about using the characters, which again in Halo flies, so you know what, let's just do that one again. This one really doesn't compare with the earlier run. You can tell by my playing that I'm pretty laid back at Devil May Care. I'm just breezing through the level like it should be done. So it doesn't really compensate as much as I'd like it to. But it'll have to do, that's all you're gonna get. There's your Zombie Boy pop-up. Okay, I'm beat. I'm definitely never doing that one again. I hope you enjoyed this far more than I did. But it's good to know that we are entering a really easy chapter next. So join me next time for our final breather before the big bad showdown with Cotton Alley. See you in the end.